This is the Algonquin Theater in Manasquan, New Jersey. It's a Thursday night. It's about 8 o'clock. As you can see behind me, the lights are pretty much out. The parking lot is pretty much empty. That's because we're in the middle of a pandemic and the theater is closed. There's no performance tonight. Let's pretend for a second that there is a performance. Let's pretend that inside that performers are performing. Singers are singing. Dancers, they're dancing. Actors and actresses are acting. Patrons are watching the performance. They left work early today, went home, went out for a nice dinner down on Main Street, down here in Manasquan. They got to the theater early, they found their seats, they sat down, and they're now watching a performance of some professional actors and actresses doing what they love to do. Pretend for a second and think about this. If the show tonight were to begin at 8 o'clock, the patrons were arriving at 7:30, maybe after an early dinner, leaving work early. Think about those actors and think about those actresses. If the show started at 8, what time are those actors and actresses showing up? Are they showing up at 5 minutes to 8 to put their costumes on, to put their outfits on? Or are they arriving at 7:30? Maybe some of them at 7 o'clock. Do they have a pre-show routine that they go through? Do they rehearse their lines, rehearse their steps? For some of the actors in there, some of the actresses in there, on this Thursday night when there is a show, perhaps this is the first performance. Perhaps it's, I don't know, their 100th performance. Perhaps they've been acting for a week and this is their first big shot. Perhaps they've been acting for years and this is just another night. Whether they're new at what they're doing, whether it's a new performance or they've been performing and acting for years, these actors and actresses arrive early to read through their lines, rehearse their scripts, rehearse their steps, to enunciate their lines, to make sure their vocal cords are working, to do all their stretching for whatever it is that they've got to do. And they go through this rehearsal before every single show. Why do I stand in front of the Algonquin Theater in Manasquan tonight? Because the actors and the actresses, the performers, are just like you. They're professionals at what they do. They just happen to come to work here, where you go to an insurance agency each day. But the difference between them and the difference between us is in our preparation, in our practice. Think about those word tracks that you've said over and over again. Think about those word tracks you've written out from a class. Think about that schedule that you have that lies ahead of you, the phone calls that you need to make, the phone calls that you want to make, knowing that some phone calls are going to come in to distract you or keep you from getting from those tasks and those opportunities that you want to be engaging in today. Arrive early, physically or mentally, and rehearse your lines. As you fill out your daily planning worksheets or as you fill out your task list for the day, don't think about, I'm going to make calls. Detail who you're going to call, what you're going to say. Write it out as if it's a script. Read your scripts, just like the performers here are going to read their lines. Go through the motions, just like the performers here would go through their steps, before every single curtain goes up, before every single day. Arrive, mentally or physically, to rehearse your scripts, to go through your steps, so that when your curtain goes up, you can perform at your peak level. Don't arrive 12 to 15 minutes early to jump into the whirlwind, to start doing your emails and processing those and processing this and going through the service transactions. Take the time to rehearse your scripts, your word tracks, perfect them. Professional actors read their lines hundreds of times. Don't believe me? A couple of our clients are former actors. Lee from Eastern Tennessee used to perform up in New York City. And John, who's an agent out in Chicago, spent many days on a stage. And they'll tell you, the more they practice their lines, the better they will be when the curtain goes up. The more you practice your lines, the better you will be when your curtain goes up. What does the Algonquin Theater have that compares to what you have? Or what is the parallel between the Algonquin Theater and your agency? What is the parallel between the performers, the actors, the actresses, and you? You're no different than them. Don't be different from them. Take a line from them. Follow their lead with what they're doing so that you can be better when your curtain goes up. Thank you.